Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I hope you are getting some work done, and I also hope that you are getting outside and enjoying the nice weather, taking a walk. Even though we're not in school, I've been trying to set a goal for myself to still go outside and do a daily mile walk every day. So I hope you are doing the same. Let me know if you are. I'm going to continue to read another one of our math read alouds. We have not read this one yet. It is called The True Book of Metric Measurement. Now, you've heard some of our metric measuring words before in word problems, like meters or kilometers, different things like that. So measurement, we can measure how heavy something is, such as in grams, how long or tall something is, or the distance that we walk. So those are the things that we are going to listen to in this book, okay? I'm not too sure if I can read the whole book in one recording. I will try to get through it. If not, I may have to record the reading into two parts. And I'm not sure yet if this book is on AR for you to take an AR quiz to earn your points for your goal, but you can definitely look it up. Once again, it's called The True Book of Metric Measurement. A long time ago, people used parts of their bodies to measure things. They used their foot or hand or finger. Sometimes they measured in steps to see how long something was. Different people were different sizes. A big farmer measured his field in giant steps. A little farmer measured his field in small steps. That doesn't make sense. When they stepped off their fields, the number of steps were different for each farmer. Even though the fields were the same size, the farmers did not get the same numbers. Do you know why? In England, the kings wanted their people to have one way of measuring. They made measures in feet and yards. Those are customary metric units that we use a lot in the United States. The feet and yards measured how long something was. Then everyone got the same numbers when they measured the same things. That makes more sense. When the colonists came to America, they brought the English way of measuring with them. That's what we call in the United States the customary measurement system. But later, the colonies united to become the United States. Most of their trade was with England. Trade was easier when both countries used the same measurement. Some people in France thought of another way to measure. They would not use feet and yards. They would use a part of the distance around the earth as a way to measure. The measurement invented by the Frenchmen was the meter. All other ways they measured length would be based on the meter, like a meter stick we have in our classroom. The French way to measure was very easy. Each measurement could be made larger or smaller by multiplying or dividing by 10. And so this is how the metric system was formed. The French called their new way of measuring the metric system. Tools to measure were made. Now everyone could measure with these tools and get the same numbers. The scientists of many nations liked the French measurement. The metric system became the language of scientists all over the world. Over 100 years ago, leaders in the United States made a law. The law said that people could use the metric system of measurement, but some people liked the old way of using feet and inches and yards. They did not change. Today, all but a few countries use metric measurement. Someday, all the countries of the world may use the metric system. Nations and people can work together when they know and use the same number language. And so this is the map of our world. The continents in pink, here's our little key down here, are countries using or now converting to the metric measurement. And then the countries in gray are countries not, where the whole country is not using the metric system. And we are the United States right there. And like they said in the book, some people do use the metric system, but some people still use our customary system. So what are some metric measurements? We have the meter. We use meters when we want to know how long something is. So a meter is about as long as a softball bat, or 3 of your father's footprints in a row may be a meter long. When we want to measure the length of the bike rack, we use meters. We measure our bed, the size of our room, or around the yard in meters as well. We use the letter M for writing a meter as a little symbol. If you take a piece of string, the measurement of your teacher's desk is about a meter. How wide is the classroom door? How far can you reach? Is that about a meter? Some students measure their benches. Then we come to even a smaller unit called a centimeter. You guys are really familiar with centimeters. Some rulers have inches on one side, centimeters on the other. And centimeters are really the smaller units. We've kind of talked about those a little bit before the beginning of the school year. We use centimeters to measure ladybugs and lizards, pencils, and books. So it would make more sense to use a ruler that has smaller centimeters on it to measure small items like that than using a big measurement tool such as a meter stick. A paper clip is about 1 centimeter wide, the width of it. Or I think before we talked about if we take our pinky finger, excuse me, and we go across our fingernail, that's about 1 centimeter long. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. The short way of writing centimeter is with the letter cm as a symbol. Some items we can measure with centimeters would be our pencil, our foot, how wide your finger is, how tall you are if you had a couple different rulers. Would it take a long time to measure the distance from your house to school? Probably, depending on where you live. So when we measure long distances, we add meters together. We add the word kilo to meter. So a kilometer or a kilometer is an even bigger measurement system we can use. It's kind of similar to measuring in miles for the customary system of measurement. So to drive, let's say from my house to get to our school, I would measure in kilometers on my car instead of rulers using centimeters. If I wanted to know how heavy something weighs, in the customary system, we talk about using ounces or pounds. However, in the metric system, they talk about using grams. Something very light weighs a gram. A bean weighs about a gram. A safety pin, 1 peanut, and a paper clip weigh about a gram. A penny weighs about 3 grams. And a big new crayon weighs about 10 grams. A walnut's pretty heavy. It weighs about 28 grams. There's a short way of writing grams using the letter G as a symbol. Sometimes we can use a balance scale to measure items as well. When we weigh something heavier, we add grams together, and this is where we get the kilogram. A short way to write kilogram is kg. Do you have a big dog? If he is really big, he will probably weigh about 20 kilograms. A fat pumpkin might weigh about 5 kilograms. Your bicycle probably weigh more than 10 kilograms. We don't really get too much into megagrams, so I'm going to kind of skip over that part. A way to measure liquids would be in liters. This is probably very familiar to you when we talk about like a 2-liter soda. And I read this part to you when we looked at one of our questions in our packet about liters. So I'm going to kind of skip over that part since we've already read that. And then a milliliter is a smaller unit. Like if we wanted a spoonful of something instead of a whole cup or a whole liter bottle, we could use the measurement of milliliters. And talking about temperature, we don't really talk much about this in 4th grade, but I think it's good for you guys to know. When we're talking about how hot or cold something is, in the United States, using the customary system, we usually talk about Fahrenheit, but in this metric system, they talk about Celsius. All right, guys, so I hope this can help you with anything you may come across with the metric measurement system. Once again, there are 2 metric measurement systems, 2 measuring systems, I'm sorry. One is the metric measurement system, where they talk about meters, kilometers, or grams. Another measuring system that you will see a lot is called the customary unit measuring system, and you'll learn more about that in 5th grade. And that's where you will hear about yards or feet, inches, pounds, and ounces. All right, guys, bye.